Today, I am going to explain a 2000 drama romance movie, Mana. So let's start in this movie. We see a woman whose name is Malin. She is very beautiful. Malin lives in a small village and is considered the most beautiful woman there. Every man of this town likes her, while the women of the town are jealous of her and want to be like her. Every man of this town wanted to have Malin. There is also a boy in this village whose name is Renatus. People stare at her when Renatus. His eyes are fixed on Malin. Only he is unable to take his eyes off her as soon as Malin passes by. Then these people again start following her until Malnad's father is a teacher in school, but he cannot hear he is teaching students in his class. But instead of paying attention to their talks, the students are disturbing Malnad's father at the same time. Nato secretly tries to see Malnaka. Malin is sitting alone and sad in the house. Here we come to know that Malena's husband went to war with the army and has not returned yet. On the other hand, Reina and her friends are talking about Malena. Renali had asked me for cigarettes, but the people of this city used to say strange things about Malena. Many kinds of rumors were spread against her in the society. After this, we see that people were talking wrong about Renatus. Now slowly, Renatus starts becoming a man. He wanted to become a Malnad man, but in reality, he was still a teenage boy. One day, Renatus, when his father comes to know about this, he gets very angry and beats him, but still he keeps looking at Renatus. But Malin had no idea that someone is watching her. Then suddenly a bad news reaches Malena. Her husband has been martyred in the war. Hearing this, Malena breaks down from inside and starts crying. Here we come to know that Malena loved her husband very much, but now when she came to know that her husband is going to war, she gets very angry and beats him. When Malin is killed, her wait is over. Now she starts thinking, how will she live in this house now? After this, she shifts to her father's house. One day, Renatus knows only Malinka. He thinks that now I have to tell everyone that Malinka is not a bad woman. She only loves her husband. Now, Renatus starts seeing Malinka in her father's house, and now his imaginations become more intense. He thinks that Malinka is coming near. He consoles her and says, "Don't be sad, Malin. I am with you." And he tells Malin what's in his heart. After this, we see that on Renatus's side, we see Malin's father. He gets a letter in which it is written that Malin is having affairs with people from all over the city. Your daughter is not a good woman. Hearing this, Malin's father gets very angry. Now he refuses to accept Malin as his daughter and asks her to leave his house. Now, Malin is completely alone once again when Renatus is outside the house. He comes and starts watching her through the same small hole. One night when Renatus goes, he sees that there is a police officer, Malnad. It seemed as if they really had a relationship. Seeing this, Renatus thinks that he thought that she was a good woman. He was going to tell everyone that it is not wrong to take a mother. But now he himself was not able to believe this. Then the police officer Malnad quickly hides. But as soon as the officer comes out, a doctor also comes there. The doctor tells the police officer that Malnad is my future wife. Then what were you doing inside? On this, both of them have a fight. Then the police also come there. After this, it spreads in the whole city that Malnad is having an affair with a married man, and she can also go to jail for this. Now Malin gets very upset. Then she goes to a lawyer and says that please help me. Malin's lawyer wins this case and everyone comes to know that the doctor was lying. But Malin's troubles do not end here. When Malin wins the case, then the same lawyer tries to force himself on her. Malnaka tries, but is unable to do anything. Renatus gets married. At the same time, the city is attacked by the enemies, and Malnad gets the news of her father's death. She becomes very sad. Now she has no one left in this world who can take care of her. Not only this, the pension she used to get because of her husband also stops, because it was now proved that her husband was killed in the war. Now Malnaka thinks a lot about him, but she does not understand what to do. Then after a while, she picks up a scissor and starts cutting her long hair. She thinks that if this world calls me a bad woman, then now I will really become a bad woman. When Renatus's Sangit father comes to know about this, then Renatus's wish could be fulfilled. Now we see that Malin has completely changed. Now she has become what this world has made her. Now all the men of the village started coming to her. Their wives were very angry seeing all this. Now the women of the city come together and start cutting their hair. Then they gather Malin and throw her out of the city. After this, we see that Malin's husband returns. He was not dead, but alive. Someone had deliberately spread false news. After this, he goes to his house, but he does not find Malin anywhere. Now some other people were living in his house. He asks everyone about Malin. People tell him that your wife has now become a bad woman, and now she does not live here. When he goes to his friends to know about Malin, they start making fun of her. No one helps her. Rather, everyone insults her. People beat her and throw her away. When Renato sees this, he feels very bad. After this, he thinks that only I know what is the real truth of Malin, and now I will tell everyone that Malin is a good woman. After this, Renatus writes that Malin is not a bad woman. The villagers made her bad. These people of the society kept saying wrong things about her. Malin gets very upset after hearing all this. Renato writes the whole truth in her letter, and he tells Malin's husband what happened to Malin and how she was thrown out of here. The husband's return. When Malin's husband reads this letter, he becomes very angry with the villagers. After this, he returns to take Malin. Then we see that he returns to the same village with Malin. When Mali is walking in the village with her husband, all the villagers start staring at them. But now no one disrespects Mali. Now everyone starts respecting her because now her husband is with her. Slowly, the villagers start respecting Malin again. Then in the last scene of the film, we see that some stuff falls from Renatus's body. Then Renatus wishes him a good future. After this, both of them go their separate ways, and the film ends here. Hope you liked my explanation. So do like the video and subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comment what you think about this movie. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.